Well, at least you know what plagiarism means. But how can you avoid it? You're supposed to do research on global warming. You know very little about it. That professor is certainly making you warm right now, but what can you do? Why can't you just grab an online research article and use it? Is using another source always theft or plagiarism? The answer is more complicated than you might imagine. It's not always so simple as shamelessly stealing somebody else's work. But before we explore the forms of plagiarism in more depth, let's be clear about why you should care about plagiarism. It's not just an issue for evil college professors. Plagiarism is important for several reasons, and we'll look at just a few. Number one, yes, you do want to avoid getting into trouble with the shadowy professor. You need to get a good grade and get credit for the assignment. Your future career depends on your completing your education. And plagiarism is a serious issue of academic dishonesty and misconduct. Number two, theft. Your friend did not write some of the words he used in his assignment. The person who did the hard work of writing was Patrick Gonzalez. Gonzalez also allowed his work to be published online. This takes a great deal of effort. You probably worked hard for your car or your phone. Imagine if someone took it from you and used it without your permission. The thief or borrower did not ask you and did not work at all to pay for the object. That's pretty terrible, right? Number three, credibility. It's important to use your own ideas and explanations in your writing. However, it's very useful and often necessary to bring in outside experts or sources to help you make a point. I mean, you don't know how much sea ice has melted or if it has melted at all. The author we mentioned earlier, Patrick Gonzalez, has this information. You can use his words if you give him credit. When you do this correctly, your writing begins to sound more believable because you're not relying solely on your own thoughts. Okay, there are two basic kinds of plagiarism: intentional and unintentional. Intentional plagiarism is unfortunately what your friend did. He copied and pasted someone else's work into his project. When asked about it, he told the professor that the words were his own. He knew what he was doing was dishonest by using Gonzalez's work to improve his own writing. That's pretty cut and dried. Unintentional plagiarism is when you use someone's words and do not properly give credit or are unaware of how to correctly bring in an outside source. The good news here is that you will learn about how to effectively handle sources in your college courses. Mind you, if you get it wrong, it's still considered plagiarism and has to be fixed. But this doesn't involve being dishonest or trying to cheat. Even the mean old professor will probably help you sort this out if you ask early in the semester for help.